What if I told you that death isn't the end, that beyond the veil of our physical existence lies something so magnificent, so overwhelming, that those who've glimpsed it never see life the same way again? Today, we're diving into one of the most profound near-death experiences ever documented. A woman who crossed over to the other side and returned with a message that challenges everything we think we know about life, death, and what comes after. Her story isn't just remarkable, it's transformative. And by the end of this video, you might find yourself questioning the very nature of reality itself. So stay with me, because what you're about to hear could change your perspective forever. It happened without warning. One moment, she was living an ordinary life, a wife, a mother, someone just like you or me. The next moment, her heart stopped beating. Medical monitors went flat. Doctors rushed in, performing CPR with desperate urgency. But for her, something extraordinary was beginning. She describes the sensation as being pulled upward, as if gravity had reversed itself. The pain that had consumed her body moments before vanished instantly. She felt lighter than air, free from the weight of her physical form. And then she saw it, her own body lying on the hospital bed below, surrounded by frantic medical staff. She was watching her own death from above. But here's what's truly remarkable. She felt no fear. Instead, an overwhelming sense of peace washed over her, unlike anything she'd ever experienced in her entire life. What happened next has been reported by thousands of people across different cultures, religions, and backgrounds. She found herself moving through what she describes as a tunnel, but not a dark, frightening tunnel. This was radiant, pulsing with a light that seemed alive, intelligent, and full of unconditional love. The light grew brighter as she moved forward, yet it never hurt her eyes. Instead, it filled her with warmth and comfort beyond description. She felt herself accelerating, drawn toward something magnificent that awaited her on the other side. Time seemed to lose all meaning. Seconds could have been hours, or hours could have been seconds. Then she emerged into a realm that defied all earthly description, place where colors existed that she'd never seen before, where emotions were tangible, and where love was the very fabric of reality itself. She wasn't alone. On the other side, waiting for her were faces she recognized, loved ones who had passed away years, even decades before. Her grandmother, who had died when she was just a child, stood before her looking radiant and young. Her childhood friend, who had been lost to cancer, was there too, smiling with a joy that transcended human understanding. But they weren't just memories or ghosts. They were fully present, more alive than they'd ever been in physical form. They communicated without words, sharing thoughts and feelings directly, soul to soul. There was no misunderstanding, no confusion, only pure, crystalline communication. They told her secrets about her life, about choices she'd made, about the path that lay ahead. But most importantly, they shared with her the truth about why we're here, what our purpose is, and what really matters in this life. Then, she encountered something someone that transcended even those A presence appeared before her, radiating light so intense, so pure, that it contained within it all the love that has ever existed or will ever exist. Some call this presence God, others call it the divine, the source, or universal consciousness. But whatever name we give it, she knew with absolute certainty that she was in the presence of infinite wisdom and unconditional love. This being didn't judge her. Instead, it embraced her completely, flaws and all. She felt seen, truly seen. For the first time in her existence, and she was loved beyond measure. The being communicated with her, not through words, but through direct knowing, and the message it shared would become the reason she was sent back to Earth. What happened next was both beautiful and humbling. She experienced what's known as a life review, but this wasn't a simple playback of memories. She relived every moment of her life from multiple perspectives. She felt not only her own emotions, but the emotions of every person she'd ever interacted with. When she'd shown kindness to a stranger, she felt the warmth that stranger experienced. When she'd spoken harsh words to a loved one, she felt their pain as if it were her own. Every action, every word, every thought rippled outward, affecting the fabric of reality in ways she'd never imagined. She realized that nothing goes unnoticed. Every act of love, no matter how small, creates waves that extend far beyond what we can see. And every moment of cruelty or indifference leaves its mark as well. But here's the crucial part. There was no punishment, no condemnation, only understanding, growth, and an invitation to learn from every experience. The being showed her that we're here to learn, to grow, and most importantly, to love. That's it. That's the whole purpose of human existence. As she stood in that realm of infinite love, the being gave her a choice. She could stay in this paradise, free from pain and suffering, or she could return to her body and continue her earthly journey. But if she chose to return, she would carry a message that humanity desperately needs to hear. The message was simple, yet profound. Love is all that matters. Not success, not wealth, not status or power. The only thing we take with us when we leave this world is the love we've given and received. Every act of compassion, every moment of genuine connection, every time we choose kindness over cruelty, these are the things that echo into eternity. She was shown that we're all connected, part of a vast tapestry of consciousness. When we hurt others, we hurt ourselves. When we lift others up, we rise together. Separation is an illusion. Division is a lie we tell ourselves. In truth, we are one. And she was told that Earth, despite its challenges and pain, is a sacred classroom. We come here to learn lessons that can only be learned through struggle, through choice, through the experience of being seemingly separate from the divine, but we're never truly alone. We're always surrounded by love, even when we can't feel it. She didn't want to come back. The peace, the love, the beauty of that realm made Earth seem like a dim shadow by comparison. But she thought of her children, her husband, the people who needed her. And she thought of the message she'd been asked to deliver. So she made the choice to return. The transition was jarring. She felt herself pulled backward, accelerating through the tunnel of light once more. And then, with a gasp, she was back in her body. Pain flooded through her as her heart restarted. Monitors beeped. Doctors cheered. She had been clinically dead for several minutes, yet here she was, alive again. But she wasn't the same person who had died. She'd seen beyond the veil, experienced the truth of existence, and nothing would ever be the same. In the months and years that followed, she struggled to integrate what she'd experienced. How do you explain colors that don't exist in our spectrum? How do you describe love that transcends all human understanding? How do you live a normal life when you've seen that this reality is just the beginning? She began sharing her story, hesitantly at first, then with growing conviction. And she discovered something remarkable. Her experience resonated with thousands of others who had also crossed over and come back. Their stories, despite coming from different cultures, religions, and backgrounds, shared striking similarities: the tunnel of light, the life review, the overwhelming love, the message that love is all that matters. These elements appeared again and again, suggesting that near-death experiences aren't hallucinations or dreams, but genuine glimpses into what awaits us all. So what do we do with this information? How should this story change the way we live our lives right now, today? First, we release fear. If what she experienced is real and thousands of similar accounts suggest it is, then death is not an ending but a transition, a return home. We don't need to live in fear of the inevitable. Second, we prioritize differently. If love is truly all that matters, then we need to examine how we're spending our time and energy. Are we chasing things that won't matter in the end? Are we neglecting the relationships that will echo into eternity? Third, we treat every interaction as sacred, because every person we encounter is a soul on their own journey, struggling with challenges we can't see, carrying burdens we don't understand. What if we approached each person with the same unconditional love that awaits us on the other side? And finally, we remember that we're more than these physical bodies. We are eternal souls having a temporary human experience. This life is precious, yes, but it's also just one chapter in an infinite story. Her journey beyond death and back again reminds us of something we've always known deep down, but often forget in the chaos of daily life. We are loved beyond measure. We are never truly alone, and this life with all its struggles and pain has profound meaning and purpose. She died and came back with a message from heaven, And that message is for all of us. Choose love. Choose connection. Choose compassion. Because in the end, that's all that remains. That's all that truly matters. What do you think? Do stories like this resonate with you? Have you ever had an experience that made you question the nature of reality? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one, and I'd love to hear your perspective. If this video touched you in any way, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We explore life's biggest mysteries here, and I'd love for you to join our community of seekers and thinkers. Until next time, remember, you are loved, you are eternal, and your life has meaning beyond what you can imagine. Thank you for watching.